And welcome back to Wednesday night. Open studio. Little tiny Tokyo things going on. How is everyone doing? How's your fantastic Wednesday? Is it good? Is it good? What are we at? The very end of September right now. So we are heavy on fall now, boys and girls. All right. I'm not prepared a soapbox, but I'm sure with my scrambled egg brain, we will come up with something. I'll throw it out there again. If you guys have an idea for soapboxes, if you want something specific, just drop it in the comments. And even if it's for this week, I will I'll read all the comments and I try to get back to all the comments too. So I'll just defer to you guys for soapbox stuff. I love soapbox stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything really going on here that needs soapboxing, but last week was magnification, which was good. I need to get that out there because, like I said, that's a super regular question, and it's good to kind of throw those out there in a way that is permanent in a way. They're on the video now, so if people are watching the video, they'll already know the answer. Windows in this guy. Again, I'm watching the windows in this one to kind of make sure they're lined up. Feel that's good. There's some airbrushing on this too. What's going on with that building? Okay. I'm going to assume this roof is right. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, I did not change the palette yet. I probably won't. You guys are going to see a few of these episodes with that palette still looking like garbage, but see if I can get a little bit more life out of it. Oh, that was a mistake. That's all right. Yeah, see if we can get a little bit more life out of that. I'm blissfully cheap when it comes to stuff. I love stretching it out. My dad was born in 1938, and so we got a lot of that. Even though he was beyond the Depression, he grew up during the World War II era. He still talked a lot about that. He comes from a family of 9, and he would tell sometimes exaggerated stories about growing up in a big family, which is good. But what I did learn is that you don't waste anything. Do I need this one? Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. All right, so wait, that's that roof. Yeah, got a little roof down here. Oh wait, am I seeing this though? Yeah, I think I am. Okay. Yeah, it's a little roof down in here, about here. We'll get this one too. This is just kind of like an outline sketch type of thing. This is we're gonna kind of use this as a guide and then paint everything else that needs to be painted. Like that roof I just put in was totally wrong, because you got this one here coming down at this angle, and I've got this at this wonky angle. But like I said, it kind of gets that little building in the right spot, which is good. And I'll adjust as we go, so I'm still okay with that. Now you guys are looking at the close up of the reference photo just like I am. I have my tablet here, which is just off camera. So I'm kind of going by that. So again, I know I've said this before. The trap is I've zoomed in on the reference photo, which is off the side. So I've got that really big so I can really see stuff. What I really, really need to do is keep this guy, this has holes in it, but you get the idea. I got to keep this guy nearby so that I can really look to see like, oh, how big is that roof really? Like I've got it zoomed in so I can really see what's going on there, but I got to make sure that I'm, the correct size as I'm going along, that I'm not, I'm not seeing that bigger size and then painting it bigger, because it happens. We train our eyes when we're an artist, especially someone dealing with, kind of realism. We train our eyes to see what's really there, and if I'm looking at a much bigger enlarged picture, then I'm going to paint it naturally bigger, so I really got to make sure I keep those two reference photos nearby so that I can continuously go back and forth and say, okay, the photocopy will tell me what size it is, the tablet will tell me what it actually looks like, so that it'll give me that little bit of extra information so that I can, make the painting better than the photograph in a way. Because obviously with the photocopy, you can't zoom in on that, You can zoom in on the tablet, but you can't zoom in on the photos copy. So the painting should have more detail than the photo. All right, so this is a gray that pretty much matches the base coat color, which is good. So remember how I said I just kind of like threw those lines in? So now I can start refining them on these two buildings. Sorry, I'm still stuffy. Again, you're seeing these a week apart, but literally I'm filming them right in a row, so I'm still as stuffy as I was last week, but I'm really not. Hopefully when this airs next, when you actually see it, I'm totally better. But again, you didn't come here to talk about, my sinus stuff. All right, this line here is great. It's in the right spot, but it needs to be thin and it needs to be grayed out. So we'll do, now that this brush is drying out, this is perfect for this because I can add like a dry layer on that, and if I want to like dig in a little bit and go over it a few times, like on that top edge, I can really kind of get rid of it. There we go. Good. Lovely. What's going on with this one? Needs to be darker. Maybe this. Maybe this. It's fun to think I was talking about shows last week, getting stuff into shows and all that. It's fun to think that this painting, in all reality, won't see any kind of show until 2025. It won't be done this year because of the way that Open Studio is going. Well, actually, check that. After November, things open up a little bit for me, so I may be able to put some more concentrated time on this. So this painting, like if I said, okay, I'm going to sit down for 2 days and just paint this nonstop, and record everything. Obviously, you guys will see it a half hour at a time, but I could conceivably get this painting done this year, which sounds like, that's crazy. It's September, I got all this time. But again, when you're looking at the number of hours that are involved in this painting and also the other things, trying to blend it into everything else that's going on around here, there is not a huge rush to get this painting done. Again, because it's tied into Open Studio, it's the most important thing I got to do with this is make sure I get at least a half an hour in on this a week. That's it, because I want to make sure that the video goes live. That's it. This doesn't have a deadline as far as a show that I want to get it into or anything like that. So that's why I can kind of say with reasonable confidence that this one may go until next year, which is okay. Get that little whatever that is. I love those things. They just add, detail to that without even trying. All right, let's get the window. I'll finish the roof. came out good. All right, let's work on the roof a little bit. This is a lot more rectangular. Again, I appreciate you guys kind of dealing with the extreme angle of this. You notice just under the pallet cam, way over here, the high school we did, you notice that that is out of focus. You guys are stupid close, and the macro lens, is set up so it's not focused on this. It's really focused in this area. So the other thing is you're in an extreme angle. So like we showed a few weeks ago, you guys are actually seeing this slightly distorted as well, which is why I like to do now that full, the full view at the end, because you get the undistorted view of where it's at. All right, yeah. Expand that out a little bit. It's more rectangular than I have it. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely. Now what's going on in the windows over here? I think there are. Oops. I could do them right too. That would be a bonus. There we go. Okay, so in this building here though, there's just a bank of smaller windows going down. Great. All right, good, good, good. That's too dark. This may be too dark also. There's a hair on there too. Shoot. Okay, we'll see what we got here. Oh no, that's lovely. Sweet. Dry it out on me. Okay, that's a good color though. Or actually good value. It's just gray. It's a good color too, but all right, now we have the back side of this. Ducky. All right, good. I got windows to go on this building. Yeah, we're burning on this guy. This guy's good. All right, let's finish to the roof then, so we can just kind of move on. So I expanded this rectangle a little bit, and now I'm going to clean it up. If this white will work for me. It's a little bit thin, but that's okay. That's good. Okay, good. It's dark behind there, so I don't have to deal with that. That's the top of that roof. Got some gray going on there. Then those buildings. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Come on in. Come on in. There we go. Okay. Good. Yeah, I'm going to leave that right there because there's more going on. There's another roof behind these two buildings or three buildings right here. This area right here. But I'm going to wait on that because we get a smaller pointer here. There we go. So this area here, these roofs right in here lead into all these buildings here. So I'm not going to do those yet. What I want to do is I want to finish this building here, maybe do this one, and then because I really want to get to this edge. Psychologically, it'll give me a boost to get, whatever this is, 3/8 of an inch high all the way across the painting. That's going to be a good thing. All right. Yeah, let's do those windows. We'll get those buttoned up. This has a little bit of a gray tan feel to it. So I've got some tan up here. So I'm going to reactivate this, or it's still like on the edge of being useful. as it dries out on the palette, the wet palette. But all I want to do is I want to use this tan to kind of give this building here just a little bit of a warmer tan feeling. Now this is really thin. It's like a wash. So I can go right over the windows. As long as it doesn't do what it just did there, which is pool up at the bottom. This was cut, this aluminum panel I could tell was cut. This is the factory edge because it kind of comes up a little bit, like it curls up. So it catches the paint. The other two sides I think are they were cut on a shear because they go down. They're pushed down. But that's what I mean. I think this is the factory edge, which is funny because I know this thing came from a 4x8 sheet of aluminum, 4 foot by 8 foot, and I'm using a 2-inch by 4-inch piece. All right, there we go. So see what happened there? So I've changed that to like kind of like a tan, just by going over it. The windows are still fine; they're still there. You know, I don't have to worry. If I wanted to, I could go over them, but I'm going to do a little bit of airbrushing down there at the end, so I don't think it needs it, you know, to be redone. This other little building that I kind of was wonking around with, I know that's a good word. It has a green feel to it, but it's very dark. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to take some moss green, just a little bit of, just a touch of black to kind of calm it down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bunch of reducer to it. So I get this kind of olive green wash. And then what I could do is I could just kind of go over that building a few times. So again, I'm going to stress this. I use acrylics a lot like watercolors. That's not a good thing to do. It is a good thing to do, but you have to keep a lot of things in mind. And the number one thing is, like, watercolor are designed to be reduced. You know, they have a pigment to them, but they're designed to be on the more liquid side. Acrylic paints are not. So when you reduce them like crazy, you remove their ability to stick. Now, knowing that, again, with what I just did there, I'm painting this really like weak, meaning physically weak, paint on the surface. But because the base coat here, the paint is so like open and porous, it's going to suck in that weak paint. So that physically weak paint is now infused in the stronger paint, and that's what allows it to stick. So if I did this on a piece of glass, for instance, that had no absorption to it, I could literally take my finger and just wipe it right off. It wouldn't stick at all. So it's really important, because archivally speaking, you want to make sure your stuff is around for as long as it possibly can. And if you produce a weak piece of art, you got to know that it's not going to be around for a long time. And, you know, that's okay too. You know, people do art on newsprint and paper bags and, you know, stuff with a ton of acid in it, and knowing that it's not going to be here in, you know, 20 years, and that's okay. So if that's what you want, but don't produce a piece of art you think is going to be, you know, in a museum in 1,000 years, and you did it on newsprint. It's not going to be here, you know. All right, good. So now that, while I was talking, I was really letting that dry. I'm going to airbrush this whole block because it's got a lot. This is kind of in the shadow in this little area. So I'm going to jump back to this guy and put in those windows that we missed or haven't done yet. And I'm not paying attention to the time. We got plenty. We got 10 minutes. Beauties. Okay, so we'll get some of these windows in. I don't know how good this paint is going to be, but we'll try it. I'll do the first one and see if I've got anything going on here. Yeah, that's too thin. Okay. How's this one down here? So it probably has water in it. Good. All right, here we go. Hold your breath. All right, so what I'm going to do, get those first two in, right? I'm going to lean back and look at my reference photo, and then lean back and look at the painting. Yeah, Mine are a little bit wide, but I think I can live with that. And the reason why I do the first two and then look back, because that tells me everything I need right there. It's got the angle, the spacing, everything. If those two are right, then I can just go. If they're not, then I can just erase the second one and maybe even the first one and then redo them. But that seems to be okay. There we go. And those wrap around the corner and have a line on that. Remember that line I did that I kind of erased? I can just barely see it under the paint, under the tan. So I can use that as a guide and we're good to go. And these are like, what do they call them? My brain is shot. I can't think straight. Not a porch. What do they call them in a building? I'm losing my brain. Big sliding doors. You go out onto the veranda and look out at Tokyo. So there you go. Good. Again, that seems very harsh. I'm going to airbrush all that, so we're going to be good. I think I might break out the airbrush because the next bank of buildings I have to cut out some stuff for anyway, which I think will be a good jump to the next episode. This guy here, I can do this before I grab the airbrush, and because this is more of a brown color, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab this color up here because this looks good. Get that in there now so that when I get to it next week or whenever, it'll be already dry. There's nothing there. This is so watered down. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. Yeah, that sucked. That was just stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Because, you know, the paint was too gross. It's this blob right here it's been sitting on the palette too long. Do I have anything close? It will work. Unfortunately, no. It's going to have to do it. I already started it, so now I got to just suffer through it. So what happens is when the paint gets wonky, it gets, it doesn't go on smoothly. It goes on in kind of a gel-like blob, and you just got to keep spreading it out and going over it to get it even. Again, and that's me being lazy. I could put out a drop of paint and be all set, but no. I would rather fight it. Take twice as long to do the job. There we go. That's good. All right. Yeah, perfect. We got some time. I got some paint in the airbrush. So same deal here. I'm going to kind of selectively airbrush on this. So for instance, like the green building gets a good amount of airbrushing, a good amount for the scale. So I'm going to block off the building we just did, and I'm going to start by darkening up that green building. So you see, that's also why I wasn't concerned that it was super harsh green, because I knew I was going to be hitting it. All right, now this side of the building does have a little bit of gray to it. So now I'm going to block the face of the building. I really should block the roof too. So we're going to do that because I don't want to have to repaint it. So do I have another small straight edge? Where are my templates? Where do my templates go? Bad Steve. Bad Steve. The hecko. All right. Find a straight side on this. We'll do this. Magnet. Template. There we go. Perfect. So now I can just give this face of the building just a little hit. So really just light passes, super light passes, just to kind of get it there. But see how that kind of like just puts it in the right spot? The other thing too is, this side of this building here, where these two buildings meet, is really dark. And I'm going to have to repaint that little white detail, but that's okay. So where these two buildings meet, there's a shadow. Come to me. There we go. I don't have to worry about the roof because I'm not going that high. Obviously, I should have done, done the white after that because, it gets blown out, but not a deal. Not a big deal. I'll grab some white here and put that detail back in, whatever that little thing is. I don't know, but it's cool and it adds a little bit of interest to whatever's going on here. Lovely. And I kind of hit the roof with the airbrush, so I'm going to grab some white here. This white's trash too. Just change the palette, Steve. Just do it. Ugh, it's gross. All right. Again, spend more time freaking wrestling with it than putting on another drop of paint. Done. Oh yeah, look at that. It's nice when paint actually works because, you're not trying to use old dried up paint. All right. This little guy here needs to be cleaned up. Come on, man. Work with me. That's better. There's a black square between, but does that rectangle feel okay? I don't know. I don't know. I do know. What I'm trying to do is, again, get to the point where I'm trying to convince myself, yeah, I can live with that, but, I shouldn't be doing that at all. Better. And then there is a black square between the two buildings. Lovely. I'm digging it. Digging it. Digging it. I feel like this window, for some reason, are darker in my photo. So we're going to do that. And then I can straighten out the top of this roof a little bit while I'm here. This is really the other building, so I don't have to go crazy on this. But again, it just sets things up for next week. Don't screw it up now. Here we go. Lovely. Oh, there's a little bit of airbrushing on him too. All right, the roof of that green building gets it too, which is good. All right, same deal. I want to block the face of this building off. I'm just going to hit the edge of that green building. Lovely. Did I do that wrong? No, I'm good. Okay, I kind of hit the brown building too, but that was okay. That was supposed to happen. Good, 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 good. What am I missing there? Anything? I feel that there's... Oh, there's that... Yeah, there's that line. Okay. It's like a tan, darker tan line in this. So we're going to grab some of this bogus paint. Bogus brown. Add some black to it. This has a really weird greenish color, but it's going to work. So right down the center of this guy, there's a darker tan line. Oh, it's actually very tan. I kind of like that, but that's not what I want. Here we go. Hopefully that's dry. Probably is not. Yeah, that's going to work. All right, that's good. That's good. I like it. Sweet. I feel like this. No. All right, I got it. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. All right. Good, good, good. This is a street. How much of this building do we see? All of it. It's kind of a maroon. How much time we have left? We don't. So that's perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Wednesday. Here is what the whole thing looks like. We are so close on getting to that edge. So we should be in good shape next week. We should be real close. I want to thank you all for jumping in. Thank you for hitting that like and subscribe. Please do that. And if you'd like to support us in a more financial way, which is always appreciated, keeps the lights on here, you can do what these lovely people have done and become a member on YouTube and YouTube and what am I trying to say here? YouTube and Patreon. All right, I'm going to get some sleep. You guys are awesome. I love you. I will catch you guys next week. Have a good one.